www.villamusic.com.
Let's get into it. Basically, this bass started off from a Virus C. Virus C is an awesome outboard synthesizer. The one I've got is actually my brother Ben's, and I've just taken a bass patch from there. It's the A42 Bass RT it's called, and that bass patch it just sounds like this. So it's like a raw Reese style patch, and it sounds good on its own, but I wanted to make it a bit more unique so you couldn't really tell where I got it from. And to me, that's the key. You can use samples from anywhere, use any bog standard synth patch, but you've got to kind of disguise it in a way so it becomes your own, more unique. So let's have a listen to what I've made it sound like. So now it's more funky. It's more like a 90s kind of sort of optical bass line. The king of morph bass lines in my mind, especially back in the 90s. So let's take you through exactly what I've done here. First of all, we've got a UAD Moog, which is, in my mind, one of the best filters you can get. It's got an awesome drive, which is giving it a bit of extra push, more distortion. And then we've got a 1/8D rate on the filter, set to a sine wave, and then brought the cutoff down. And I'll turn it off, as you can hear it. And then back on. So you can sort of hear that rhythm, that pulse that is given it, and I kind of like that when it was with the beat. It sounded real nice. Sometimes this is on here, sometimes it's down here. There's no real set rhyme or reason. It's just chucking plugins at it until you got something cool. So after the filter, we've got a UAD Legacy 1176 LN Legacy compressor. This is just giving a little bit of compression. It's about 5 dBs worth of compression. If you look here, it's about 5 dB. Now this is just leveling out the signal a bit, so any sort of up and down spikes, they get a little bit less up and down, and that squashes the signal, and that enables us to get more bass into your mix because there's less peaks that will create distortion in your master chain. Next up is a UAD Cambridge. This is rolling off all the tops and boosting around the lower mids. Some nice things happen when you boost around the lower mids. You get some funky distortion, especially if you want that sort of Ed Rustin optical sort of distortion style, then around there is cool. But I will say, once you're boosted there, then you've kind of got to scoop it back out. I've rolled off all the tops as well because I thought the top sounded a bit kind of honky, like a bit nasally. I didn't really like that sound, so I've rolled them off. And then we're using this thing called the Tau filter. It's an awesome little filter. You can literally put as many different points in the filter as you can, as you want to. And this is like a 2-bar loop. You can see it follows exactly the timing, and I like this because you don't have to put them, instead of putting automation in here, which sometimes can get, when you copy it across in your track, can get lost or get altered. This just stays exactly the same. It's got a really nice res. The output can be gained for a nice bit of distortion. So this is doing more filtering. So you've got the Moog, which is giving it a pulse, and then this one is kind of giving it even more rhythm. I'll bypass it. So instead of that constant, we've then done this. gives it a little bit more of a funk, I think. Next up is the BX Control. Now this is just making everything mono under 112 hertz. It's good to have your sub bass mono when you're in a club. If you had stereo sub, it's gonna freak out the sound system most of the time. So, and also if you want to get this track cut to vinyl, the mastering engineer will do anyway. And next up is the Ozone Dynamics. This is a multi-band compressor. We're just using it to compress the very, very low subs, 62 hertz and below. Quite a heavy compression, and again, when you compress, it lowers the volume, so you want to gain back up, and then that levels your compression out. But it's just it's a good way of just getting lots of stuff back in your mix once you've kind of scooped it all out again. Let's have a look at bus 1, which is my distortion send. Is something I use in many tracks. Let's listen without it. So sounds pretty dry, a little bit boring. So if we add then the bus 1 send on top, you get this. So you get a lot more sort of excitement on the top end. So we've taken out all the top ends with the UAD here, but then we've added our own distortion top ends with this channel, and this way you can get more control over the sound you want. You can control the frequencies you want. You can distort it in a more unique way to give you a sound that's more unique to you. So we've got just lots of different distortion setups here, EQs just to tame some of the crazy frequencies that are happening, and then a bit of compression, and then we're using the tau filter again. This time it's a very similar to the tau filter on the original audio channel, but it's a little bit different. It's bringing out the high notes in the bass. You can see as it flicks up, it's like giving it a real nice pop and a groove. This time it's on a band pass, because we want to, well, there's no rhyme or reason for that, it just sounded better, I think. And then here we've got more EQing. So on this EQ, we're just EQing the send, and scooping out all these low mids because they'll like muddy up your mix. If I take them off, you just want that tops ready to add on top of our original audio channel. Now if you want that 90s sort of late 90s classic tech step sound, then you want to have some reverb on your bass send, and that's kind of giving it a nice bit of reverb, sets it in the mix really nice. So yeah, that's about it. That's basically how one way I've done my bass. It changes virtually every single day, but you can use those principles where you distortion, using filters to get movement, adding more filters on top of filters on top of filters, and just go to town on plugins and just keep going until you got something that you like. Okay guys, peace out.